The Stoner Jesus Show is brought to you in part by Hemptations.com and PlanetEverywhere.com. They got a lot of awesome stuff for you to check out. But don't just take my word for it. Let Beach, the owner of Hemptations, tell you all about it.
It's a very large selection of hemp goods, everything from reusable coffee filters to frisbees, bandanas, everything Planet Everywhere on the site is made in Cincinnati, Ohio, made locally. We also have other retail products from our cosmetics, Earthly Body product, bags on the retail site. Again, anybody local in Cincinnati can go to Hemptations.com and get the info on the stores. Planet Everywhere is our .com is our retail site. You can hit me up on Hemptation Beach or like my Facebook page, Hemptations or Hemptations 2. I'm on Twitter, Google, I'm on the internet everywhere, just like everyone. We love to hear from people all over the world, positive things about industrial hemp. That's what I do. That's what we do. Largest selection of industrial hemp on the planet in the stores. And I'd like to grow that inventory to be able to say that I haven't actually checked out all the other hemp retail spots to see if we have the largest amount on our Planet Everywhere, but it's a fair selection.
And as Beach always says,
having temptations.
Hello, my children. Stoner Jesus here. I'll tell you about another great sponsor of the Stoner Jesus Show. It's Pottles. Check out their banner on stonerjesus.net. Pottles. Follow My Pottles on Twitter. They have all kinds of great stuff, including odor-free stash containers. Come in all kinds of sizes and colors. They're airtight, watertight, and UV protected. They also got cones, dab stuff. They got glass, tubes, and more. Check out that Pottles banner on stonerjesus.net. Or simply go to mypottles.com. Think outside the baggie. They always have great deals and more going on. Go get your odor-free stash containers and more. Just click that Pottles banner on stonerjesus.net. You're listening to the Stoner Jesus Show. Not only can Stoner Jesus Show podcast be found on stonerjesus.net, you can also find them on cannabisradio.com. You can also find the show by searching Stoner Jesus on Spreaker.com and the Spreaker Radio app, also the Stitcher Radio app, iTunes, the iHeartRadio app, and iHeart.com. If you want the links to all of these, go to stonerjesus.net. In the top menu bar, there's a page that says Listen to the Stoner Jesus Show. There you can find all the different ways you can listen to the Stoner Jesus Show podcast. All other information on the show can be found at stonerjesus.net.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every day. Medical marijuana is my last resort, and it helps me when all other drugs have failed. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Your connection to quality cannabis insurance services is spelled K-A-E-R-C-H-E-R. That's Karcher Insurance. We have worked with ventures like cannabis for over 60 years. We're proud to represent over 50 companies with tailor-made cannabis plans for owners just like you to insure your product, your plants, and your pursuits. K-A-E-R-C-H-E-R spells out their full-service insurance services ranging from commercial to bonds, to personal, from life to health, and more. Contact the team at KarcherInsurance.com and let our experience work for you. That's K-A-E-R-C-H-E-R Insurance.com.
Contact Karen and the team at Karcher Insurance at 1-844-421-3560. That's 844-421-3560. The following CannabisRadio.com program contains explicit language and content that can be considered graphic and offensive. This program is not suitable for all audiences, and the opinions expressed do not reflect those of CannabisRadio.com, its staff, management, or sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
Graphic? Yes. Offensive? Yes.
Awesome?
Fucking A.
Yes.
Discretion is advised. You best believe it, bitch. You never know what you're going to hear. You may tune in. I may be banging your mom. I don't know. This is the way it goes. Stoner Jesus does what he wants. Whenever. Stoner Jesus Show podcast, recorded live on November 20th, 2015. It's time now for Weed News. Dink Raven 420 is in studio. Next segment, again, I don't know. I was thinking along the lines of trivia, but what that would be, I don't know. We always use this absurd trivia. They have TV and movie, music trivia, and celebrity trivia. I also have something more. World trivia, sports, books, games, and animals. It's a lot of trivia. And how that would work, I don't know. Maybe whatever you get wrong, you got to take that many shots or hits of the magic tobacco.
Yeah, like everyone you get wrong, you should have to take a shot or hit something.
Word.
Hit a bowl.
But I think this trivia only gives you the answers after all you go through all of them.
See, that would be impractical.
Yes.
Highly impractical.
I'm sure there's other trivia, but this is what I've always used. So who knows? I mean, out there listening, maybe you have a favorite trivia site. Maybe you have a podcast and you do trivia games as well. Why don't you hook a brother up? Shit. It's time for Weed News. In case you couldn't tell. We got our Weed News from Cannabis Tweets on Twitter. That's Cannabis Tweets with a Z. Lots of stories up there. Snoop Dogg has just launched his Leafs by Snoop. It was considered one of the very first mainstream cannabis brands in the world. It's edibles, concentrates, and 8 strains of flower. It's available right now at the Live Well cannabis shops in Colorado. It'll be exclusive there for 30 days, I believe. And then it'll go to other legal states like Washington and Alaska and so on. And I would assume in medical marijuana states as well that have dispensaries and mechanisms to sell medical marijuana. Colombia is set to legalize medical marijuana. They're not ready yet for recreational, but they're definitely on board with the medical marijuana. Up north, our friends in Canada, Canada is officially on the road to legalization. New Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has instructed his Justice Minister Jody Wilson-Raybould to begin the process of legalizing and regulating cannabis in Canada. It was a long letter he wrote to her outlining her responsibilities. And one of them, there we go. Quote, working with one of her objectives includes, quote, working with the ministers of public safety and emergency preparedness and health, create a federal, provincial, territorial process that will lead to the legalization and regulation of marijuana. So there you go. Good for Canada. Medical marijuana off to a good start in Illinois. They have a pretty good, about 40 different ailments are listed, which is not bad for an average medical marijuana program. So they're still building dispensaries and opening dispensaries and all that shit. They have 3,300 patients, but that number is expected to go up. Despite the recent Supreme Court decision in Mexico that paved the way for possible marijuana legalization, the Mexican president says, no fucking way. He's not up for that shit. He doesn't like them fucking hippies. No, he didn't say that. But he might as well have. We have a story from HuffingtonPost.com. Sarah Palin says legalizing weed is no big deal.
What?
Breaking with many members of her party who oppose legalizing marijuana, the former Alaska governor and 2008 GOP vice presidential nominee on Thursday said it was, quote, no big deal, and argued that should not be a controversial issue. She said, I look on the national scene and think, wow, of all things to be fighting over and battling over, especially when it comes to medical marijuana, I think, this is just not my baby. Palin told conservative radio host Hugh Hewitt in her own backwoods way. When Hewitt expressed disbelief that Palin's home state legalized recreational marijuana last year, She said the vote didn't surprise me. We've got that libertarian streak in us, she said, explaining that Alaska, the most conservative state to legalize marijuana so far, already had lax marijuana laws, so it was a less divisive issue than in other states. She said, I grew up in Alaska when pot was legal anyway. It was absolutely no big deal. I mean, you didn't smoke it because your parents would strangle you, and if you were a jock and you were, a Christian going to a youth group, you just didn't do it, right? And I still believe that. But when it comes to picking our battles, for many of us in Alaska, legalization of marijuana just was never really a bright blip on the radar screen. She does have a way of speaking, unlike anyone else. There was reports of Rihanna launching a new pot product line, along the lines of what Snoop Dogg did, but apparently those were just rumors. Her people are saying that she is not doing that. They were saying she's going to launch a line called Mariana instead of Rihanna. Mariana.
How clever.
Indeed. Other stories up on Cannabis Tweets on Twitter. That's Cannabis Tweets with a Z. Story at Forbes about consuming marijuana during pregnancy does not make a mother unfit. Also, pressure is building for Obama to fire the DEA head over his medical marijuana comments. As you may know, he called medical marijuana a joke, which is a ridiculous thing to say. The group Marijuana Majority delivered over 100,000 signatures to the DEA today of a petition calling for the firing of the DEA agent. Representative Earl Blumenauer has also called for his firing. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if Obama gives a shit. He's running out the clock up in the White House. Speaking of the White House, this is from WashingtonPost.com. D.C. smells like marijuana and residents really don't care. And it goes on to...
what a title.
According to a new Washington Post poll, 57% of district residents said they smell marijuana at least once a month. Of these residents, 45% say the once illicit scent doesn't bother them at all, and 17% says it doesn't bother them too much. Fewer than 4 in 10 respondents say they are irked, at least some, by the smell. In November 2014, 70% of district residents voted in favor of Initiative 71, which legalized the growing and possession of marijuana. 69% of residents still support the law, but only 41% of those are old people. They don't like it. 40 to 64-year-olds, it's 64% support. Those under 40, it has 82% support. And apparently people are blazing up all over Washington, D.C., and no one gives a fuck.
Is that a surprise, really?
They're not worried about it. And they shouldn't be. Also on Cannabis Tweets, Detroit City Council may crack down on what is now a booming medical marijuana industry in Detroit. Of course, they don't like that because, it's not like Detroit needs jobs or anything. They want to make sure that the dispensaries and whatnot are at least 1,000 feet away from schools and churches and all that shit. But if they wanted to eliminate all dispensaries in the city, they can make sure that they had to be at least 1,000 feet from a vacant house. I don't think there's anywhere in Detroit where there's not a vacant house within 1,000 fucking feet. Yeah, they don't need jobs or anything. Fuck that. So restrict any kind of economic activity in that shitty fucking city. There you go. There's my rant for the night. Go check out Cannabis Tweets on Twitter. I don't know what we're going to do next segment. We got to figure something out.
I know, I'm lost.
I have Would You Rathers. Really, that doesn't, Yeah, fuck it. We'll just pick a trivia and we'll drink when we feel like it.
Right. I'm about to pour another shot already.
Fucking A.
Hell yeah.
We're on Cannabis Radio on Spreaker. We're live. I was going to play some more party music, but fuck that. Maybe next break. I don't know if I'm in the mood for more party music. Stoner Jesus Show podcast recorded live on November 20th, 2015. We're going 90 minutes tonight. We got Dirty Password coming up. You can call in and participate in that. 1-347-414-WEED. Be awesome. I have 5 passwords